this weekend, we thought we would do, as we're going to try and do for most Fridays, something that you're looking forward to this weekend and something you're not looking forward to this weekend, as opposed to just straight predictions, because we're also trying to build some enthusiasm here. So, Dunny, what are you looking forward to this weekend? What's drawn your eye? What's got your attention? Where will your number one pick be for people to be all over it this weekend?
Yeah, it's got to be Saturday, right? It's got to be Wolverhampton Wanderers at home against Chelsea Football Club, and not for the quality of the match, but to get a good grip and an understanding of what the hell Frank Lampard is going to try to do with this group as a short-term manager through the end of the season. Remember, also, not only is it at Wolves, but then subsequently midweek, he jumps on an airplane immediately following the game on Saturday and heads down to Madrid to take on Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti, who just dropped 4 on Barcelona at the Camp Nou. So I am intrigued by so many different angles, because the idea of what you're watching from the outside is one thing, what you get on the training field is another, and with a short turnaround time in terms of preparation, who I would say, number one, what does his player profile with that group look like for his tactics? Is it 4 in the back? Is it 3 in the back? What does the midfield makeup look like? Thankfully, he's got N'Golo Kante back, and he looks like he's just rewrapped the hands of time back into this crystal ball performance of the last 2 weeks, because he's just such a fantastic player. And it's been horrific to see that midfield without him for such a significant amount of time. And then can we lean into the idea that maybe there was some guys that were pretty pissed off at Frank Lampard at the end of his tenure as previous manager that are still still inside that line? Yeah, still inside that locker room. Because I thought at the international window and the return from injury, the Christian Pulisic looked pretty dynamic. Will he get an opportunity after we were told he was dealing with some sickness last weekend underneath Graham Potter? So yeah, that's and then ultimately, can he do what Graham Potter was incapable of doing outside of Champions League? And that's really strumming a tune out of this group of players. Because I mean, there's a good group of players there. I just don't know what the hell's happened this season to him.
Can you imagine Chelsea win the Champions League with Frank Lampard as manager? Can you imagine that? Incredible.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
No, it isn't. I'm looking forward to this especially as well, because I really want to find out why he's taken this job. Currently, we don't know. We speculated for some time on the SiriusXM FC show on Thursday when it happened. Then there's only 2 possibilities for me. Number one, he's given up on management and just wants to end his career on a high and be like, I went back in at Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea legend. He was speaking about how much he loved the club. It's my club. And he's kind of unveiling press conference. Or whether he wants to reset his managerial career to get a big job after this. And whatever happens, the way it ends at Chelsea, it'll never end as badly as it ended at Everton. So it kind of makes him appealing again to clubs that he wants to get a job at. So it's going to be fascinating to see. For me, it feels like a nostalgia hire. It feels like that maybe, the mascot experience at Chelsea is now extended to being manager for a week. I don't know. We will find out over the next weeks and months, but it's a fascinating hire. And I also love the idea that maybe he was just walking around the corridors of Stamford Bridge on Tuesday or Wednesday night, whenever it was, bumped into Todd Bowley, and Todd was like, "Oh yeah, Frank Lampard, you live 5 minutes from here.
Hey, you,
Kensington. You should come back here, man. Here's $10 million." Like, I love the idea that's what happened.